Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Smalletics channel. I'm really excited because today I'm going to be reviewing Sarah's Day, one of her what I eat in a day / this one is one of her breakfast videos that she just released. A lot of you guys requested Sarah's Day. I personally love Sarah's Day. I think I've been watching her account for a really long time. I'm really excited to take a look at like the nutritional breakdown of her whatever recipes she's recommending in this video. Yeah, so let's jump into it. And before we get started, remember to give this video a like and subscribe for more content tailored to petite women. Let's do it.
My channel. As you guys know, I did a food prep video like a couple of weeks ago and you all loved it so much, which was really nice to hear. Today, so make sure you follow that because I'm always keeping up to date on my Instagram stories and posting. But I asked you guys, do you want sweet or do you want savory breakfast recipes? And it's Cocoa Pop chunks, but healthy. It's delicious. So you want to start with preheating your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. So in this recipe, I am using uncontaminated oats, which is like gluten-free oats. If you can't find them,
I just have to say, I love that she says this is like easy and simple breakfast recipes, and then the first step is turn on the oven. Like if we were doing my version of simple and easy, there would be like no cook recipes. But I think I know where she's going with this, and it's not gonna be too difficult. I just think it's funny.
So I'm doing 1 cup of plain rolled oats, 1 cup of raw zucchinis.
I love oats, I eat them every day. However, for a very long time, I was eating way more than I knew that I needed. I thought that I needed that much, but really, you don't wanna have too many oats in your breakfast, too many oats because oats are carbohydrate and carbohydrate is sugar when it's broken down into the bloodstream. Now, you need carbs. I'm not saying carbs are bad, but you wanna make sure if you're eating the carbs that you're going to surround it with healthy fats and protein, which I'm pretty sure she's gonna do, but I just wanna say off the bat, if you're eating just oats for your breakfast and there's nothing else in it, or if it's fruit in it, which is more carbs, while as ingredients they are absolutely healthy and essential for your diet, you do want to have them balanced with a fat like chia seeds or almond butter, and then a protein like adding a side of eggs or having some protein powder that's dissolved into it. But yeah, and the reason why is because whenever we have carbohydrates naked or alone, I will say, basically our blood sugar increases, right? And then this hormone called insulin, which is a storage hormone, it comes in and it takes the sugar out of our bloodstream and tries to find places in the body to put it. It's then gonna go and deposit into our fat cells. So it's not that carbs make you fat, they don't. You just wanna slow the uptake of absorption of those sugars into the bloodstream by pairing it with fat and a protein. That way you get to have your carbs and you have your cake and eat it too, or you have your carbs and eat it too, but that would be the same thing. But you know what I'm saying, just don't eat them alone. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not that they're bad, just don't eat them alone so that your blood sugar levels stay regular and steady throughout the day and you're not telling your body to store the excess as fat. I think she said this was buckwheat, which is
otherwise known as buckwheat groats, a 1/4 cup of cacao nibs, and then 1/2 cup of any dried fruit. I have a 1/4 cup of
cacao nibs, really healthy, obviously source of antioxidants. Cacao has fiber in it, so that's amazing. However, cacao nibs do have a lot of carbs and sugar, sometimes sugar in them. So I'm not sure what kind she's using, but that's another thing that's adding to her list of carbs here, which is fine because she's still adding to the ingredients. And then the dried fruit. Dried fruit is very high in sugar. There's often added sugars, and it's just very sweet. So right now, if we were to like stop this recipe, it's pretty much all sugar and carbs. So, not processed. I'll say that. This is great because it's all really healthy ingredients, not processed, whole foods. However, I'm hoping she's gonna balance this out with some healthy fats, hopefully some fiber. I hope she gets some more fiber in there. Oatmeal has fiber, but it's always good to have a little bit more. And she'll probably add some protein, so we'll check it out.
2 tablespoons of raw cacao and 3 tablespoons of chocolate pea protein. I'm using the chopped protein by Topeka. This is the lean protein. And then before I add
So she's using pea protein. There's basically 2 main kinds of protein when it comes to powders or supplements. There's whey, which is made from animals, and then there is, or it's animal derived, I should say. Then there's pea protein, which is plant derived. It's a plant derived protein. So she's using pea protein. Obviously, it's safe if you don't eat meat, if you're vegan, vegetarian, and this is also pretty easy to digest. I always suggest that if you can't tolerate whey, for example, it gives me an upset stomach, it kind of can cause bloating or gas for some, then switch to a plant-based protein such as pea protein.
Now that's all mixed together, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of melted coconut oil, and then our last wet ingredient is agave nectar. Agave nectar, honey, rice malt syrup, it's totally up to you, just any kind of liquid.
Okay, I love that she added the coconut. because it is obviously a fat, and the coconut oil is really important to balance out the meal, because as of right now there wasn't a ton of fats in the meal. You want to have protein, fats, and carbs, preferably a fibrous carb. The fats are really good. They're going to keep you full, they're good for your hormones, and they're going to prevent you from having cravings later in the day. And then she is adding a sweetener. I personally don't like sweet things because I've just weaned myself off of sugar for the last 5 years or so. I personally don't add sugar to any of the things that I, smoothies or bowls, acai, whatever it is, because I don't need it. If you do want to add sweetener, it's totally fine. You're not gonna die. It's okay. It does fit into the kind of carb category, so more sugars. So just be aware that you're balancing these sugars with some protein and healthy fats to make sure that you're going to digest it slow enough so that you don't get this huge sugar rush. So she chose agave nectar. This is a good option. You can choose, I think she mentioned some other supplements, some other options, maple. You can do stevia if you want, that is an artificial sweetener. And by the way, there are studies that show that artificial sweeteners also result in basically the same pattern of our insulin peaking in response to real sugar. So just keep that in mind when it comes to, diet sodas and artificial sweeteners. Your insulin in your body is not fooled. Like, they send sweet in the brain and insulin is released in response. So let's keep going.
With sweetener, I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of this. So I've just lined my baking tray with some baking paper, and I'm just going to pour that over the top. And then I do try to pat it down relatively flat so it all cooks evenly. Now back to it and check on it. So after 10 minutes, I'm just going to pull it out of the oven a little bit and just sift it around full of the granola and throw it into a bowl with some fruit, some berries. I'm going to throw some kiwi fruit in there as well.
So she's taking this meal, which I think is balanced in itself now, because it has the fats and it has some fiber. Obviously it has the carbs, it has a little bit of protein, and she's pairing it with more fruit. Fruit in itself will not make you fat. I want to make sure I'm really clear about that. I would not pair this together, only because for me personally, and also you guys know, like, we're smaller, this is gonna be a huge sugar rush. A natural sugar rush, I will say. It's very healthy. However, you might feel a little sick after this, or it's a lot of sugar. And especially given how much sugar it is, if you guys ever heard of a sugar crash, you might have one from this kind of meal. However, it is healthy. What I would do instead is I would put this granola into a yogurt of any kind. I would say a Greek yogurt, like a 1 or 2% fat Greek yogurt would be really great, or even pour some almond milk over it, because with the yogurt you'll get the protein. With the fruit you just get more sugar and more carbs. So that's just something that I might change. However, I still love all the ingredients she used, and I'm digging this recipe. It sounds really delicious. Okay, let's move to her next recipe in this video.
It's literally in a jar and you can grab it. This recipe is so easy. You guys have no idea. If you're short on time, this is perfect for you. And to be honest, I often have this as a snack, not even breakfast.
Oh my god, it's so good. Chia pudding, you guys.
Because it's literally in a jar. So this is my coconut berry chia pudding. Okay, this is totally up to you. You can either start with the chia pudding down the bottom, but I find putting my berries down the bottom, it just works a little bit better. So look, because we're on the go here, we're busy people, I don't even have time for a chocolate board. I don't know, I think I get this from my
You guys, chia pudding is so versatile. It is such a great recipe to have in your repertoire. Like, it's easy to make. You literally can make it the night before work, just put it in the fridge and then grab it before you run out the house, and it's so healthy. You can add a protein powder. The chia seeds themselves are like magical little seeds. When I first discovered them, they made my nutrition so much easier, because about a tablespoon has about 4 to 5 grams of dietary fiber, and you need 30 in a day roughly. So as you can tell, like, a little bit is gonna go a long way, and it's gonna really help you get your fiber up for the day. So I love chia puddings. It's a great way to start your breakfast, and it's also really pretty. I also liked her portions with the blueberries. That was a really good portion. I'm loving this already. This is probably gonna be my favorite. And in Petite Power, my fitness and nutrition program for petite women, I have a chia pudding recipe, because it is literally just such a good recipe to have and to know how to make, and everyone seems to love it.
Grandma, all the women in my family, we all cut with our fingers. Okay, my number one question when it comes to chia puddings is, what is the ratio? How do you get the right consistency? I have worked it out for you. It is 2 tablespoons of chia seeds to 6 tablespoons of any kind of nut milk. And here I'm just using coconut milk. And then it's literally as simple as putting the lid on and shaking it up. So obviously now, as you guys can see, it's still liquidy, but we're gonna chuck that into the fridge and it's going to set. pretty much going to become like this kind of consistency. Now, honey, agave nectar, coconut nectar, or if you have liquid stevia, so I'm going to add like 4 drops of liquid stevia. But yeah, if you don't have this, you can totally just add honey. 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla as well. I love anything.
Vanilla is really good.
And I'm going to shake that up one last time, then add granola on the top because I'm all about texture. I like to have crunch in there as well. I'm going to add my...
Okay, so I like this. Again, she seems to be doing sweeter recipes. I'm not sure if in the beginning she said this was sweeter, but yeah, she had liquid stevia, which is a 0-calorie sweetener, artificial sweetener. Totally fine. If I was gonna sweeten something, I'd probably prefer to do that. Or she said agave. However, I think fruit do a good job making like a natural sweetening to the chia pudding, especially if you have blueberries and raspberries in there. The sugars are gonna be absorbed by the chia seeds. And then she's adding some granola to top it off, which you could do. But with granola, it's very caloric food because of the nature of the nuts. Fats have more calories in a gram than protein or carbs. You probably don't need more than 1/4 of a cup or less really of granola when you sprinkle it on top of anything. Let's move on to her next recipe and then we'll just do 3 together because she has 5 in this, and I'll link the video below and you guys can see the rest of her recipes if you want.
My first savory recipe of this video is zucchini fritters. Okay, so starting off with 2 large to medium zucchinis, I'm just going to grate them. If you have large zucchinis, maybe just do 1.5. If they're medium, you can do 2. Okay, the trick to having beautiful fritters and not soggy fritters is getting rid of the water in the zucchini. The main way I'm going to get the water out of the zucchini is using a milk bag. So I'm going to chuck the zucchini in there, and then you just want to squeeze it as hard as you can and get as much of the water out as possible because like I said, that's just going to help your fritters stay together and not be all soggy and gross. I'm going to add that to my fry pan just on like a medium to high heat. Totally optional, but I am going to add 50 grams, which is like 3 slices of ham. I love bacon and ham. It's probably the most unhealthy thing I eat, but I love it. So I'm going to add some slices.
I'm not against bacon and ham. It's a fat and that's fine, and a little bit of protein. What I don't love is processed deli meats. Not my fave, not my top recommendation. If you can avoid cold cuts, that's good. If cold cuts is the best option available to you, then that's okay. We work with what we can. But cold cuts are processed meats. They tend to have a lot of extra things in them like sodium and preservatives and stuff that has been shown to slow down the metabolism. So if you're eating it once a week, it's fine. But if you're eating deli meat every day, I would encourage you to look into better sources of protein, whether it's turkey breast or chicken breast or lean fish, salmon. Things like this are gonna be less processed and have a better effect on your metabolism in the long run.
And then I'm going to add that to the pan as well. Just cracking 2 eggs into the bowl, whisk it with a fork, and then add my zucchini from before. Oh, that's perfect. Totally up to you. And 1 tablespoon of coconut flour. And then salt and pepper to taste. I like mine really, really salty. So yeah, you do you with that one. All right, now we're taking this batter over to the fry pan to actually make our fritters. And then it's roughly 2 minutes on each side or until golden brown. Then I'm going to top it off with my tahini ranch. If you guys want to know how to make that recipe, you can click up here.
This is making me hungry. This looks so good. However, I think this would be more of a snack for me because I'm guessing the eggs and the ham are probably maybe 10 or 12 grams of protein total, and I would aim to get 20 or 30 grams in a meal, especially your breakfast meal. And you know, this is a low calorie meal for sure. Zucchini has pretty much no calories in it, but it's a good source of fiber. And I love that she has some little microgreens or arugula and some tomatoes on the side too. That's great for her micronutrients. I love this. I'm actually gonna try this. I have made something like this before, and what she said about the zucchini, it's really important. If you don't wring it out, it's gonna not get that nice crispy brown top because zucchini holds so much water. So make sure you really wring it out. And once I tried using paper towels for this and I wasted a lot of paper towel, and I'm really not about that. So don't use paper towel. There's so much water in there, you'd be surprised. But overall, I love Sarah's Day. I loved these recipes. I would modify them slightly, but this is pretty much how I eat as well. Notice that she used pretty much 90% whole, unprocessed foods for the most part. You know, things that are single ingredient, meaning you can't look on the back of a box of any of these. You know, arugula has one ingredient, it's arugula. There's no label on it because it's the only ingredient in it. And the same kind of goes for eggs, zucchini, you know, the nuts, whatever she's adding, they're all single ingredients that she's adding together. I wouldn't call this a simple recipe just because you have to wring out the zucchini and then cook it on the stovetop. Overall, I really love her nutritional stuff. I think she has a lot of great videos for inspiration, and she's so health conscious that it's always inspiring to watch her stuff. I hope you guys loved this video. Let me know who you want to see me review next, whether it's fitness or nutrition. And if you love this video and you like hearing more about this nutrition stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you like talking about nutrition and food with me, then give this video a like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.